What's up, people? We are back with more SC2VN. In the previous video we played some Go with the old man at the Go Mart, by which I mean the board game Go, not CSGO of course. And then after that I had to rush back home because obviously I have to train very hard for the upcoming week for my show match with Bolt, which I obviously do have to win for our team to have any success at succeeding. And Riva was helping me practice. Now she fell asleep on my bed, so that's the reason why I'm actually on the floor. I'm on the floor? Why am I on the floor? The trash on my desk is gone, and my bed is made. I literally never make my bed. Right, Riva. When I stand, an ache in my back forces me to wince. It's nothing serious, but I must have turned over in my sleep onto a weird angle. A text message from Riva awaits me when I check my phone for the time. I apologize for falling asleep. I will see you later. Tersay, as I've come to expect from her. I lock my phone screen and slip it into my pocket. The week ahead is going to be tough. 6 days probably isn't enough time to make any sort of serious breakthrough in terms of my mechanics or game sense. But it's long enough to craft a game plan that might edge out Bolt. My biggest issue with the matchup is that I have no idea what to expect from him. How does a Brood War player go about learning StarCraft 2? Maybe I should ask Jet or Axel. Whatever the case, the team is probably waiting for me at the Golden Zone fire. I should hurry over. Morning, Mach. Morning. An oblivious stunt fails to notice my arrival. He's too focused on his white whale. Where's Jet? Trying to wrangle some of Bolt's replays, I guess? We couldn't find him at the Shock team house yesterday, so I spent the rest of the evening moving out of the crash house. That sounds awkward. You're not wrong. Well, Riva's probably gonna be late today. She probably needs to go back home after... I try and fail to stop myself in time. The allure of Pop Safari now fails to hold Stunt's attention. She slept at your place? Did you bang her? No, it wasn't like that at all. We just practiced. Oh, genius move, Mach. Ow! Okay, sheesh. I follow up the shoulder punch with a pat and then take note of Axel's serious expression. Mach, you didn't actually do anything, right? No, I didn't. Good. Don't get involved with your teammates. Eh? Why? Seriously? I'm sure you can figure this out on your own. If you break up, things get awkward? If you get together, things get awkward. If you break up, the team loses a player. It's bad news, even in the best case scenario. She came over to watch me ladder. It got late, and she fell asleep during a long game. That's all. Then there's no problem. Being a coach means I get to deal with fun stuff, like telling you what you can and can't date. Stunt's hand slings for his phone, but Axel snaps for attention before the Protoss can get back to tapping away at animal bubbles. Enough, Stunt. Time for practice. Mach, you too. Right. Practice. By noon, my wrists are sore from a morning of anti-rush defense. Without anything specific to practice against, Stun spammed me with game after game of proxy gates, cannon rushes, and one base all-ins. I feel prepared in the incredibly unlikely case that Bolt risked the match on something like a 2-gate. Stun's a one-note Protoss, but he plays that note pretty damn well. Can you try something else for a change? My brain is starting to fry. Heh, I'm not even warmed up yet. You're only able to defend against these builds because you're expecting them. Obviously, the point of a cheese is to catch the opponent off guard. What's the point of cheesing when it's literally all you can do? You don't understand. Cheesing is an art that I will be the first to master. Seriously though, Mach needs to prepare more for more than just one base all-ins. Try playing standard for a change. Fine. Just then, Jet steps through the doors of the Golden Zone fire at a fierce pace, saving me from more of Stunt's abusive builds. But the relief I feel at her arrival shatters when I catch sight of the figure at her heels. It's Bolt! Before I can form a question at Bolt's presence, both he and Jet are standing before us. He shoots an annoyed glance at him before speaking, or she. He insisted on speaking with you before he would agree to play. Bolt lifts his chin at me, savoring the moment. I need something from him, a show match, and he's well aware of the power it grants him. So, Mach, still desperate to try and make a name for yourself? I match his aloof expression with a hard one, determined to show that he can't intimidate me. Our sponsor needs a demonstration of the team's potential. It's not about me. Don't kid yourself. This is all about you. I'd be facing Jet, Axel, or one of the wannabe dishwashers you managed to clown into signing if it wasn't. Do you think I haven't read what they're saying online? I draw in a sharp breath. To Bolt's amusement, he shakes out his wrist and offers a shrug. I normally have better things to do than play out a show match in a lesser game, but hey, you've caught me at a good time. My next Brood War match isn't for a few weeks. Got just enough time to brush up on my SC2 and ship you back across the Pacific. Did you know that my team manager won't even let me play Star 2 in the Shock team house? They say it's distracting to the other players. I reach for another calming breath, but find myself choking on rage instead. It's that smile of his. What? You came here just to talk some trash? Quit wasting my time and accept the match. I accept. And I'll do you one better than you'll do me. Catch! Bolt pulls something out of his pocket and tosses at me. My reflexes don't fail me, and I snag the small black object in mid-air. A USB. Aww. A thumb drive. When I open my hand, I find the thumb drive. He's really giving us his replays? Wow. What? 50 replays. Study them all you like. You'll have no excuse when you lose. By the way, Jet, let me give you a tip. Next time you go behind my back for replays, don't try to get them from someone that shares my feelings on my opportunist bullshit. Your foreign mascot is lucky that I'm feeling generous. With an infuriating air of superiority, Bolt turns to leave. My teammates visibly share my frustration, but none of them rush to my defense. Maybe it's good for a good reason. I can't keep relying on Jet or Axel to bail me out of trouble. Beating Bolt isn't their responsibility, it's mine. Hey Bolt. He turns, mild surprise showing on his face when I flick the thumb drive out of my hand and at his feet. I won't lose to you again, remember it. Tell yourself that. He shows his teeth in a smirk and crushes the flash drive under his heel. Just like you told yourself you could qualify for VSL. The only thing that pops in my mind right now is you forgot your flash drive, you forgot your flash drive, you forgot your flash drive. Oh god. The glorious old days of the Big Bang Theory. Holy crap. That was an evil stare. Bits of plastic and metal are all that remains of the USB when he lifts his foot to continue on his way out. The tension remains long after Bolt's departure. Finally, Jet enters my personal space, eyes sharp and locked with mine. She's probably not happy. Why did you do that? We needed his replays. Axel steps forward and places a hand on Jet's shoulder. Bolt was trying to get into Mach's head. You know that, Jet. It was the right call. Dang, he really didn't feel like leaning over to pick it up, huh? Those things are like 10,000 won. The quip earns him a perplexed stare from Axel and Jet. I'm too distracted to even react. Whatever, Mach. If you're going to be a showman, save it for when it'll gain you some fans. That gives me an idea for a ceremony after you beat this guy. Get like 10 flash drives and... Hey Stunt, I've got a better idea for a ceremony. We sign a contract with Enoch and move into our team house. How's that sound? That's not as funny as what I had in mind. I gotta admit though, this Stunt character, Sometimes you just, I mean, especially in sort of a serious environment like this, like, sure, I mean, playing games and all, sure, it's fun, but when you're actually trying to be competitive, then it is a fairly serious environment, right? So it is, especially in a team setting, it can sometimes just be beneficial to have that one guy around who's just a little bit goofy and just can loosen things up every now and then. I feel like Stunt is definitely has that type of character, because he keeps cracking me up every now and then. So enough banter, get back to practice. Can we take a break or something? I need a minute. We don't have a minute, especially without replays. Practice now. I quietly follow Stunt's lead back to the towards the PCs. Axel and Jet move in and take their seats behind us. Can't they like piece the flash drive back together? No? From the top. And no rushes, Stunt. Serious game. Let's go, Stunt. Let's see what you got. I have absolutely no clue how anyone can practice for more than 10 hours a day. Well, that's the Korean mentality. That's why they dominate. Besides, obviously, I mean, a lot of other teams, I mean, in America, they're sort of starting to do it, and some teams / organizations in Europe as well. But in Korea, it's just so common to have a team house setting, which is clearly so beneficial. My wrists ache, my eyes hurt. My subconscious won't consider anything but unit compositions and attack timings, and I can't get Bolt's stupid smirk out of my head. Worse still, with Jet forcing Stunt to play standard, our practice wasn't productive at all. She didn't seem happy with me when she left to meet with the producers at the VSL studio, but after so many games, it becomes impossible for me to focus. What else are we supposed to do? Riva doesn't seem like she's in practice for any race but Terran. Do I have a chance against Bolt? Did I ever in the first place? Dude, how does anyone macro? It's boring, exhausting, and makes you consider zillion variables. Economy management is so stupid. You just described what StarCraft is supposed to be, minus the boring part. Well, I don't like it. I'm at my best when I can focus microing. Who says I should have to play a game past the 10-minute mark? No one, as long as you're okay with an awful win rate. With practice done for the day, I agree to join Axel and Stunt for dinner, while Jet deals with logistics and setup for the match. I'm led down a smoky side street where greasy and fragrant smells mingle. My experience with street food so far hasn't been great, but I trust the judgment of Stunt and Axel. Row after row of stalls are thick with customers clamoring for a hot meal. The three of us browse the various offerings before Stunt insists on one in particular. Do you like bindetok? Mach? Sure, yeah, whatever's fine. The single cook manning the stall cleaves through customer orders faster than I think possible. It's not long before we're walking away from the stall, paper-wrapped pancake in hand. We settle for a seat on the curb, far enough away from the foot traffic to avoid being trampled. Riva's going to run into trouble with Jet if she doesn't show at the Golden Zone Fire again this week. She can only help Mach so much. Besides, it's not like she can skip out on practice at the team house. Have you ever been inside a team house, Stunt? The Protoss forces down his food with a thump to the chest. No, but I've seen pictures. It's an informal setting. It isn't hard to sleep in or slack off, but the type of people that do usually don't become pro gamers, or at the least don't last long as one. We still don't have any subs. Isn't that going to be a problem? Let's worry about one thing at a time. There won't be much need for subs if we don't do our best this week. Still, the team is tiny. 5 people including team management? Jet wasn't kidding when she said she wanted a lean team. The sudden thought of a team Goshiwan is almost enough to make me smile. Yo, Axel, what did you do with all your prize money from Brood War? That's kind of a personal question, isn't it? I don't mind answering. Spent about half of it on general living expenses and stuff for my family. The rest I got saved. Lame. What's the point of winnings if you don't spend them? I've earned 40 million won or so, not counting salary. That may sound like a lot, but it's easy to go through if you aren't responsible. Deaf to the sense Axel is trying to talk into him, Stun stares off into space with stars in his eyes. If I won the VSL Grand Final, I'd buy a car, a house, a new PC. He continues, rattling off a list of a dozen superfluous objects in a way that only someone who has lived without worrying about paying rent can. Axel and I both take the chance to eat without interruption. Jet still got the 100 million won from the first VSL championship, yeah? That plus some, probably. Why? I wonder if I could convince her to trick out the team house. Feel free to ask. Just make sure I'm there for the reaction. What about you, Mach? What would you do with your big winnings? I don't know. Save it or something? And I thought that only the chicks on our team were boring. Don't forget that all the time you spend climbing StarCraft's ladder, somebody else spends climbing the corporate ladder. If you're only in eSports for the money, just get a real job. Psh, it's no big deal. After I make it big as the next Protoss Bourgeois, I'll just get a job as a coach or a team owner. I've got it all planned out. There's no convincing Stunt at this rate. Not that I can blame him. I wasn't any more responsible when I was at his age. With a final bite of what's left of my bindetok, it's little more than grease on a napkin. I'm joined by my teammates when I move to toss away the trash. Heading home, Mach? Yeah, gonna ladder for a bit and then sleep. Gotcha. I'll be at the cafe by 10. Don't be late. Not like we have anything better to do. The three of us turn separate ways out of the alley. I endure the walk back to my apartment in silence. I stare at my cell phone, the light coming from its screen bright enough to make my eyes glaze. Then it goes dark, and I slide my thumb over its screen to wake it up. I've repeated this ritual 4 times now. My head falls back against the chair, and I close my eyes. Why do I feel like this? It's almost been 2 weeks since I last spoke with my parents. Admittedly, I've been busy with StarCraft since I met Axel and Jet, but I'm still overdue for a call. My fingers hover over the contact number. Before it can fall to dial them, the phone escapes my hand and falls back onto my desk. Does it really matter? I don't have much to say. Hi Mom, is Dad there? Yes, everything is fine. No, I'm not dead. No, I haven't given up yet. Telling them about the team might be for nothing. They'll pretend to share my happiness in a victory, but there's always an underlying cynicism to every congratulations from them. A win isn't a win. It's another crumb leading me to chase a pointless esports dream and away from the life they think I should be living. It feels wrong to be cross with them. They raised me, paid for my existence. I'd be an ingrate to ask for more. And yet, I do. I want them to accept my goals for what they are. To hope for more than that I'll grow out of StarCraft. It's the same with my friends from high school. They pretend not to know, but I know when they look down on me. It's a video game. Why do you care so much? Come on, man. It's time you grew out of this. When is it right to give up on a dream? How many failures does it take before you say, alright, I'm done trying. I'll just take a job at the family business. If I lose to Bolt, should I quit StarCraft? Would it be nothing but pride to continue on? Even if I win, what then? What if the team does poorly? What if the team does well, but I hold them back? Will StarCraft 2 even last as long as Brood War? What if there isn't any prize money left in the scene in a year from now? What if I start to hate the game? It's wrong to think this way before such a high stakes match, but I can't help it. I know what matters, and I know what I have to do. Why can't I just do it? I know what everybody is thinking right now, so I'm not even gonna say it because we all know it. I carry myself onto the bed and bury my face in my pillow. Somehow, I think I'm finally starting to understand what Mr. Yun was saying. I'm awake. I've been awake actually, but I don't feel like getting up. I tell myself to for the third time, but I don't. We have to practice, but I don't feel like practicing. Dude, get up. The team is waiting for you. I just want to lie here though. Can't I just do that? No. I'm probably sick from the street food. I'm just going to lie here until I feel better. You aren't sick. Get up. Not now. Soon though. Don't you want to beat Bolt? That guy is a total prick. If you don't practice, he'll beat you and you'll feel terrible. I already feel terrible though. I'm just going to lay here. Get up! 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 Knock knock. Moshi moshi. The sound of repeated, unrelenting knocks wakes me. A glance at my phone answers my immediate question. It's 2 p.m. I shamble my way to my door and glance through the peephole into the hallway. It's Jet. She doesn't look happy. I turn the knob and crack the door open, offering no resistance when she forces it the rest of the way open. She glances over at me, not bothering to veil the disgust in her expression. What are you doing? The entire team has been waiting for you to show up. Her tone demands an answer, and I rush to oblige it with an excuse. I don't feel well. You look fine. Get dressed and get your ass to Golden Zone Fire. I run a hand through my matted hair and glance away. I'm serious. I feel awful. Ugh! Jed's palm cracks against the left side of my face. I call out in a mixture of pain and shock and try to step back. Instead, Jed catches me by my shirt and pulls me forward, visibly restraining herself from bringing the back of her hand across my other cheek. Holy crap, she's so mad. I gasp for breath and bring a hand to where she struck me. Her eyes, hard and determined, refuse to leave mine. What? Why did you do that? Why are you here, Mach? Why did you come to Korea? What? To play StarCraft? You already know the answer. No, you didn't. You have some natural talent for StarCraft, but you didn't come here just to make use of it. What on earth is she talking about? I feel my voice harden in my throat when I argue back. You just hit me for nothing. I came to Korea because I want to play in the VSL, because I want to be a champion. And yet you can't drag your sorry ass out of bed to prep for the show match that an entire team is counting on you to win? Stop lying to yourself, or at the very least, stop lying to me. I put a lot of trust in you, Mach. I honestly hope that you'd prove you have what it takes to make something of yourself. But you clearly don't. You quit when it gets hard, and your minor accomplishments help fuel the lie that you're capable of something great without putting in the work. The ferocity in Jet's eyes dies out as she relinquishes her vise on my undershirt. I stumble back, clutching at the wall to keep from falling over. You have less than a week to prepare or pretend that you care about what happens to yourself and to this team. If you can't do that for your own sake, then do it for ours. After 10 long, sobering seconds of unanswered silence, she turns, stalks into the hallway, and slams the door. The wall is rough against my side as I slide down and onto the floor. It's not long before I'm tired of replaying my stale reasoning. My apartment's view of the Seoul skyline offers a moment's relief. It makes the decision a little bit easier. One way or another, I'm not coming home. The looks of disdain, the fake reassurances, it's all that's left for me once I step on that plane and admit that I'm a failure. If I can't swing a single match victory with 4 other people carrying me, what can I possibly hope to accomplish with the rest of my life? I let out a long breath. I'm tired. And even though I wouldn't mind falling asleep against this wall, I find myself rising to my feet. Is it narcissism or masochism? It should be so much easier for me to just accept that I was never cut out for this in the first place. I really just can't quit, huh? This is such a joke. Gomar's chime sings out as I push my way into the store. Snow white hair and a wrinkly forehead perk up from behind the counter as I stand in the doorway of his store. Mr. Yun. Come for another round of Go, Mach? Or just here to take your drinks and scram? It isn't until he gets a good look at me that the smile drops off from his face. Something the matter? Did you play Go professionally? He nods once, so I continue. Why did you play? What kept you going? How did you stop yourself from quitting? A little philosophical, don't you think? Take a breath, Mach. What's going on? At first, I tried to explain as vaguely as I can, but Mr. Yun nods along, allowing me to ramble uninterrupted. I find myself divulging more and more details. I stop only when it comes time to explain my encounter with Jet this afternoon and the evening I spent sitting in my apartment. You're right. I go to whatever lengths I can to avoid pain, and I've done it all my life. StarCraft is the only thing I've ever been decent at, and I can't commit to it because I'm afraid I'll fail. But it's not just that. I can't quit either. My biggest fear of all is admitting to myself that I'm not good enough. I want to believe that as long as I try, and I'm not worthless. I ran away to South Korea with the stupid idea that I could make something of myself, like the world owed me something just for showing up. I'm just tired. I don't want to run anymore. Despite my ragged voice and slumped shoulders, Mr. Yun finds himself a nonchalant smile. Then don't. It's much easier to walk. A slight chuckle escapes him. When it ends, he gestures past me to his store. Mach, I'm closing in on 70 and working at a convenience store at 2 in the morning. Some would call that failure, but I don't regret the days I spent studying and competing in Go. If we live without pursuing our passions, what good is life living at all? Prizes, fame, status, these things are achieved by few, but every competitor must play for a love of the game and the pride of a well-earned victory. Competition is a noble thing. It drives us to improve, innovate, and test the limits of who we are and what we can do. It took humans into space. You wouldn't seek a reason to keep at it if you didn't already know there's value in that. I lean onto the counter, separating us, the tension in my chest softening. I do. And you're right. But I can't stop worrying that I won't be worth it in the end, or that even if I try my best, I'll fail. You might not achieve everything you set out to, even if you work as hard as you can. No success worth chasing is ever guaranteed. But do you want to spend the rest of your life wondering what you were capable of? My own answer to that was no. I glance away and rake my hand through my hair. There's no way that I've come this far only to give up now. When I straighten up, he beams a pleased smile at me. Now then, if I were you, I would head home and get some rest. You've got a match to prepare for after all. I find myself at an utter loss for words. Gratitude forms and falls apart between my lips and a handful of times before I simply settle for a deep bow. Thank you, Mr. Yun. You're welcome, Mach. By the way, the next time you come by for an old man's wisdom, you'll have to buy something first. For the first time today, I catch myself smiling. Okay, deal. Just then, a customer pushes the door open to the store. Though there wasn't much else I had to say, now is probably an appropriate time to depart. As I turn to leave, Mr. Yun lifts his fist at me. Work hard. I raise mine to match his. I will. Oh god, the old man. I knew he would be useful. Like, in the beginning, when we went in there the very first time and the second time as well, it sort of felt strange. But now it's actually very nice to see him, Mach, actually bonding with this guy. I mean, sure they don't have too much in common, you might say, but just both as competitors and him having professionally played Go, and I mean, if you're just trying to pursue anything as a career in a professional sense that requires competing, you sort of have a lot of things in common, at least about that in anyway. So it's nice to sort of look up to him as a mentor in that regard. So I have a feeling that Mach can definitely learn a lot from this guy. But dang, the life of an esports guy. I mean, just in general, like, you can apply this to just any other sports as well, but just in general, just apply or trying to pursue a career in sports or esports or whatever. These are the things that you don't generally see of the people that make it and that don't make it. Just the amount sheer of hard work that goes into it, and just the thoughts that the people have when, I mean, some players are just so focused that they don't even, or they just can't think about failure, because if they do, then it just all falls apart. But there are certain players that are just mentally, I guess, just a little bit weaker, I'd say. I personally, I would say that I'm one of those people as well. Just every now and then doubt comes to mind and you're like, oh god, and then become a little bit emo. But you know, you just gotta pick yourself up and just keep going on. That's all I can say to the people that are struggling with the same sort of thing, because I have that every now and then, and the only thing I can do is just rely on the people that are there for you and pick yourself up and just keep doing what you do, because what you do, no matter what it is always worthwhile as long as you enjoy it, and that's the only thing that I could actually say about that. So yeah, we're gonna end the video on that good note. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.